Hey YouTubers, I'm here working on a 99 Nissan Frontier with a 2.4 liter engine. This is actually my personal truck. So pretty much, before I go ahead and fix the problem, I wanted to share with you guys real quick, how I'll go about dealing with the P0325 knock sensor malfunction. So the first thing I always do, when I deal with this code, I pretty much do a visual inspection on the knock sensor before I do a voltage check or resistance check. Like I've always mentioned, visual inspection goes a long ways. On these Nissan vehicles, this code, when it gets triggered, it's not going to trigger a check engine light. It's going to be one of those soft codes where the computer only stores in memory the engine code, and also it doesn't store any freeze frame data. Alright guys, so pretty much, I'm going to show you guys the location of the knock sensor, where it lives. On this 2.4 liter engine, it just lives beneath the just below the intake manifold. As you can see there, there's the connector. On this side of the connector or the sensor, you can't really see any problem with it. Usually anywhere from 90 to 95% of the time, when you get a P0325 on these Nissans, it's going to be a faulty sensor. Most of the time it's a crack on the housing of the sensor. The other 5 to 10% is going to be perhaps some type of wiring issue or some mechanical issue. In this case, for this truck, it's a faulty sensor which has I wouldn't call it a minor crack, but it has a big crack which is causing this P0325. Let me go ahead and show you guys real quick. Alright guys, so in order to get a better view or access to the knock sensor, you must lift the back plate, not the back plate, but the base plate of the air filter housing, which is right there on top of the throttle body. So like I showed you on the other clip, this is pretty much the back side of the knock sensor where the connector lives. But if you go on this side, like in the middle of the intake manifold on this 2.4 liter engine, just slightly below the pressure regulator, there's actually the front side of the knock sensor. Hopefully the camera can pick it up. As you can see there, there's actually a big crack on the knock sensor, so it's causing this P0325. Like I mentioned earlier, 90 to 95% of the time it's going to be a cracked knock sensor. That's a big crack right there. Alright guys, so this is pretty much a little quick tip on what to look for on this P0325 on this Nissan, at least for this Nissan Frontier, where it actually lives, is to do your visual inspection first before you do your voltage checks or ohm readings. Alright, so let me go ahead and just show you guys real quick the code. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you guys real quick with my scan gauge 2. I have this little unit device hooked up to my truck, just for the fact, as you can see on my cluster, there's no RPM needle or gauge, and sometimes my water temperature needle tends to fluctuate. I think that's just a bad little motor inside the cluster. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. This is pretty much the 4 pins that I have selected: miles per hour, RPM, voltage, battery voltage, and the water temperature. I'm going to go ahead and select scan. As you can see, there's one stored code. It's a P0325. So pretty much the specs for this vehicle, for the knock sensor circuit: if you back probe the signal wire with the engine idling, the voltage should be approximately 2.4 volts. The resistance just on the knock sensor itself should be between 500 to 625 kilo ohms. Alright guys, so hopefully this video helps anyone out there who's struggling with the P0325 on a Nissan vehicle. This is Eli the OBD Tech. Subscribe if you like.